Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Legend Bowl. Today is gonna be a good day, a good episode. I got a few things I need to explain to you guys though, because this is gonna be a series that I've never done before. It's gonna have a twist to it, like never before, and I'm actually kind of pretty excited for it. I hope I can execute it the way I have in my head. So let me just go ahead and say it. In other words, this isn't going to be as player focused, though it is, though you guys have submitted your player and they are in, by the way. But this is going to be more of, you guys get to manage your own team the way you want to and see if you can compete for the Legend Bowl alongside of me while I manage my own team as well. Now, it's going to be a little bit difficult because you're going to have to have Discord where you guys can hit me up and I can send you screenshots and you guys can make choices when I send you those screenshots on your roster and what you want to do. I know this sounds very confusing, so let me just go ahead and break it down. So here is the rosters, right? Here's the teams of the league. We're looking at the teams, okay? You guys are going to be able to pick one of these teams to manage, to be the owner of that team or the general manager or head coach, whatever you want to, be. And here is a team created, the Hawaiian Cojones from Honolulu. And their owner is Daniel Zimmer. Yes, Daniel Zimmer has purchased the team. He created the uniforms, or at least the colors. I created the uniforms for him. Hopefully he likes it. And I'm going to be using him as an example for this opener of this episode. So this is his team. All right. Once we start up the franchise, we can't edit the uniforms or anything like that. So that is unfortunate. But here is the roster, right? And every week, when from week, I think it's 4 to week 13, certain teams have pop-up menus throughout each week, and it could be a random player from your roster saying, "Hey, I want more money," and you have to decide, do I want to give this guy more money or not? If you tell that person no, then he gets cut from your team. So let's just pretend here, all right, we're Daniel Zimmer, and it's week 4, and one of his players right here, Darren Diaz, his top wide receiver, comes up to him and says, "Look, I know I'm on a 3-year deal for $8.8 million, but I want more than that. I want $10 million. Daniel Zimmer is going to have to decide, does he want to pay that salary increase or let Darren Diaz go? And he's going to have the actual power to decide. It's going to be up to him. He's going to hit me up. I'm going to send him the screenshot in Discord. He's going to be like, yeah, I want to let that guy go. Or, you know what, let's pay him more money. And I'm going to make that choice for him. He's going to tell me what to do for his team. And I can do that for every single team in the league. So that's kind of how this game works. It's definitely different from Madden. And I know hopefully it doesn't sound too confusing. But let's say I'm controlling the Seattle Emeralds, and it's week 4 as well. And I also got a player that comes to me saying he wants more money as well. I have to make that decision. Now, there's 2 things that are going to stop you from saying yes or from saying no. One, your salary. There is salary cap in the game. Each team has different salary caps, as you can see here. At the left, right there, salary rank. So one, you got to take into consideration your salary. Is it worth paying a guy a lot of money or not? Then, secondly, you are only allowed to say yes 3 times in a season. Like, that's literally the rules. So so you can only say yes 3 times. But you're going to have more than 3 players each year come up to you, most likely. It's random. So hopefully you guys are with me on this. I hope it's not too confusing. But let me go back to Honolulu, right? The Hawaiian Kahunas, all right? And Daniel Zimmer, their owner. All right, let's pretend he said, you know what, I can't lose my top wide receiver. So, yes, I'll pay him that $10 million. All right, week 4 is over. We go into week 6, and his tight end, Bridges, comes to him and says he wants more money, and he wants an extended contract because he's only on 1 year. Zimmer's going to say, okay, I'll extend it. Now he only has one time to say yes again. Let's pretend that his right guard comes up to him and says he wants another contract, and he says yes to him. All right, now he can't negotiate no longer throughout the year. So let's say it's week 11, and one of his top players like Tyrone Damaquez comes up to him, 95 overall, and says, look, man, I feel like I'm the best player on this team. I should be making more money. I want an extension, and I want more pay. Daniel Zimmer might want to say yes, but he physically can't negotiate, so he's got to let him walk. That's the rules of this franchise mode. I didn't make them. That's literally how the game works. But what's cool is if you go down to the settings, right? And I was looking at this, and you know me, I like to come up with things that you don't get to see on YouTube. Control all teams. I can control all teams when I want to throughout the franchise. So I'm only going to select a handful of you guys because there's no way I can let everyone have their own team. It'd take way too long. But if you have a Discord and you're on it all the time, and you want it and you're interested in controlling a team, we can make that happen. Let me know. Pick a team. All right. Daniel Zimmer already has one, and he created that team. So it's going to be interesting to see how many can he build a actual. Is Daniel Zimmer a good manager? Can he actually build a roster, or is he just a good player? Not only is that how the regular season works throughout the year, but then there's the off season, where in the free agency period, you get 3 players to choose from, and you can offer your team to keep, and then the other 2 have to go. So this game really forces you to make hard decisions. It's harder to keep a team in this game than Madden, believe it or not. So there's going to be 3 players at the end of the year that pop up, and you get the choice to choose one to keep. So, they might give you Garnett and Harrington and Troy Polamalu, who I put in here. I had to, bro. He's my favorite player. Anyways, and so Daniel Zimmer's gonna have to choose. Okay, dang, that sucks, but whatever. Which guy am I gonna keep? He might want to keep Troy Polamalu because he's the highest overall, or he might say, he's 43 years old. Let's keep this lower overall because he's 84, but he's 24, right? And he's the future. So that's the free agency, and then of course there's the draft, which it's a 7-round draft. Like I said, I can, on Discord. This is gonna be Discord heavy. If you do select the team, you're gonna have to be on Discord while I'm recording. I'll just hit you up and be like, hey, be ready, you'll just be on standby. I'll shoot you a quick screenshot or whatever. You make your decision. I'll put a timer on you when it's draft time, and you'll be like, okay, you know what? I want this or this. And I'm going to be showing you guys your roster, obviously, so you know what you need and what you don't need. I'm not going to, I'm going to have to show you guys what you have and what you don't have so you know what you need to go for. And that's kind of how it's going to be. I also might make this a live stream heavy series, so that way we can do it in real time. But I'm probably only going to cap it off at 3, maybe 2 other players controlling a team. But if you're not into all that mess, don't worry. I still have your players that you selected, and we will be following their careers. So don't worry about that. I've adjusted. I've been doing some testing since I've had my hands on this game, and this game is very defensive heavy based. There's barely any scoring in this game. You have to play 15-minute quarters, and that's just way too long. So what I'm going to do is we are only watching playoff time. So we are not watching any. It's going to be a sim-heavy based management series where if your player makes the playoffs, we are watching. that is going to give us more seasons under our belt to where we'll actually get to see, your player's career over multiple years. So that's a plus. The only negative part is, you don't get to watch regular season games, but I don't think anyone's going to really care about that. Playoff time is where it's at. We all know that. The sim quarter length for the best simulation is 8 minutes for the quarterbacks. If you go any higher than that, it's really unrealistic. Running backs and wide receivers kind of tend to take a hit with the 8 minutes, unfortunately, but one of the biggest hits I think 8-minute simming does is for like defensive line for sacks. I've seen like 2 seasons and the top sack holders in the league were only 5 sacks. So that's just something we'll have to deal with. That's fine. But if you go any higher than this, then the quarterback stats look really, really crazy. Like for instance, at this 8-minute quarter sim, I had one of the quarterbacks threw 50 touchdown passes and 5,000 yards, and it's like only playing 8-minute quarters, so I don't want to go any higher than that. And then when we actually watch the games, it's 3 minutes. That just seems to be the best simulation for, I don't know. They when you put the longer minutes, they don't seem to do as good on offense. When they're hurried up, it seems like they're a lot better. So that's gonna be it. Before we end the episode, we have to set up the league. This is gonna be fun. I'm going to so here's the roster. But if you see down here, there's shuffle roster. Shuffle players in a fantasy draft across all teams in the league and it overwrites current roster. So you guys are in here. If I didn't say that already, right? I feel like I have. Like, look, there's Jamie Bell, 85 overall. He's on Minnesota Walleye. All right, but guess what? We are about to do a fantasy draft that spreads out the league. So it's basically like a draft to start off the league. Since it's the first season ever of Legend Bowl, there's Seth Price. So there's a couple names you don't know. Oh, look at that. There's Johnny Metro. I'm actually on my favorite team. That's crazy. Part of me doesn't want to do it, but we got to. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to finish this episode off by finding out what the rosters look like, what the teams look like. Let's go ahead. We're going to hit shuffle roster one time, and it's going to randomly mix up the whole league. Here we go. And just like that, it's done, ladies and gentlemen. Next episode, we're going to be going over the roster. I hope you guys are excited for this. I'll see you in the next one.